This morning, Dave White is here from New York Sea Grant, and the Clayton Boat Show is coming up. That is a rite of spring in the North Country. We look forward to it and look forward to the information that the Sea Grant will be offering. Good morning.
Good morning. Good to see you. Spring is in the air regardless of what Beth says.
I know.
You know, we know it is.
One more day
Regardless
of it,
of the
Dave.
cold days.
I'm telling you, we need to kick it up a notch, and she's going to handle that later on this week, so it looks good.
That's good.
For the Clayton Boat Show, of course, it makes people think spring, fishing. You have some fishing gear here along with you as well.
We do.
You're going to be at the Clayton Boat Show, right?
We're going to have the Discover Clean and Safe boat at the show. Folks may remember it from last year. It's the first opportunity we've had to come to the Clayton Boat Show. We're doing the entire series this year, and the Marathon Boat Group has provided us a new vessel. And we're taking a different twist with it this year, as long as being clean and safe, and we're talking about invasive species on it as well. And reminding folks that, you know, it's still a major issue of transporting invasive species from one body of water to another, especially in our part of the world where we have, you know, the Great Lakes, the rivers, with a variety that have gotten in, and then really trying to keep them out of going into the inland.
Leave that picture up there for a moment. I just want to mention, last year you had a pontoon boat, right?
I did. Last year we had a pontoon boat. This is also manufactured right here in central New York, in Marathon, New York, just around Cortland. This is a 16-foot Grumman boat that they have provided us, and actually they've given us two vessels this year. We also have a canoe, so we can talk about paddle sports and the same kind of issues of clean, safe, and, you know, make sure you're invasive and exotic free.
So around the Clayton Boat Show, when you're there, you're going to be telling people, educating people about invasive species and how to keep out the
well, a couple things. One is when you're in a body of water,
here.
keeping them off your boat, keeping your boat protected, but also then making sure you're not taking them to another body of water. So somebody that goes out in the morning and fishes the St. Lawrence River, Lake Ontario, we have a whole host of invasive and exotic species that are there that aren't in an inland body of water in Jefferson, St. Lawrence.
So
they've got to clean, and you know, that's what I grabbed. I mean, these are the things that they'll actually see on the boat. You know, a fishing pole. You know, remove anything that's on it. You get always weeds on it.
Right.
You know, on your line. So remove it, let it dry out. Your net. Really, you know, you catch a fish, way to go, had a great day. You've got either weeds in it, and also you might get some of the smaller invasives that we have, like the bloody red shrimp or others. You don't see them, you don't think about it. So, you know, if you've been in one body, make sure you wash it, and if you can, dry it. You know, leave it out in the sun, let it dry off, so whatever might be on it. Things that people don't think about, you know, your swim fins. You know, you've got your kids out there, swim fins, and they're getting something on it. So, you know, the same kind of thing. Inspect it. Make sure that it's dried out, it's cleaned off. You know boots, here you go. You know, as always, you always like me to wear something special. You know, inspect your boots. You know, making sure there's nothing on it that's going to go from one body of water to another. And then, you know, the big one they talk about is your bait bucket. Make sure you dump your bait and don't take the same bait from one body of water to the next, both for diseases, for invasive. So bait can become a real important issue.
What about your boat trailer?
That's a very common one that folks, you know, we are seeing a lot of folks that have been complying with cleaning their boat, cleaning the trailer off, but absolutely the trailer, as I always tell people, when you're out on the water, anything that can come in contact with the water that you're using out there for your boating enjoyment can be a vector for transporting invasive species. A trailer can be huge because, you know, it's got pockets of water on it. You know, it's going to have a weed, you know, that's going to be hanging off the side or something. If you don't grab it, you go in the next body of water, and we've now transported it there. So it's just good, clean boating practice, but a lot of times we don't think about the other things that we do or how we're using the boat. You know, personal watercraft. Make sure you blow out personal watercraft. Make sure you're checking underneath that you haven't got anything caught on the... Am I saying it to the right person?
Oh, yeah,
sure, you know,
of course.
You know,
I know.
He knows exactly how to do it.
Underneath the jet ski.
Right.
The Clayton Boat Show is coming up next weekend, right? Not this weekend, next weekend.
It is next weekend.
And you know what? As long as you're going to pick on me, I'm going to pick on you. You have everything labeled here today with a tag. What's your refrigerator look like at home? Milk and
well, the worst part is, you know, when you have kids growing up, you know, they say, oh, I've got to take the labels in for something, so they go in and take all the labels off of stuff. So there's no labels on our refrigerator. It's like, what are we having tonight, dear? I have no idea.
I don't know what this is.
I have no idea, but
everything's labeled here.
There you go.
All right. Excellent. Thank you much, Dave. Good to see you. Phone number on the screen. We're back here in a couple of moments.